Hello everyone. This video I'm going to show you guys how to use a program called Microsoft Publisher to create a design that you can send to a laser engraver to cut out a holiday ornament. So in last week's video I had you guys find an image off the internet. You had to pull up a black and white image and you needed to save it to your H drive. So we're going to use that image and a few other tools, some tweaks that we're going to have to do on here. It's going to be a bit of a longer video, so space it out the best that you can. On my iPad, I'm going to open up the Citrix workspace. We're going to be using two different apps on here. Sliding to the second screen, we're going to be using the Publisher app. And then when we're all done on Publisher, we're going to come back and use Google Chrome right inside of the Citrix workspace. So let me start on the Publisher app. I'm going to open that up. Okay, when this opens up, first thing I want to do is I want to grab my pointer. You can do some of these things without a pointer, but I suggest getting used to using it. So I'm going to drop down the ribbon at the top, select my pointer. We're not going to use any of the presets that Publisher gives you. Instead, we're going to make up our own blank page size. So we're going to click on More Blank Page Sizes. They have a list of all sorts of different types. I want to scroll down just a little bit. In order to scroll down, I need to take my pointer onto the scroll bar here and click and drag that down just a little until you see this custom section right here. So we're going to create a new page size. Okay, first thing, we need to name this page size so we're going to remember what it is. So up here, I'm going to click where it says new page size. I'm going to delete all of that, and I'm going to call this Holiday Ornament. Next, we need to change the width and the height of our paper. So typically, a sheet of paper like this is 8.5 inches wide and 11 inches tall. Now, what you're designing is for a piece of wood that is 5 inches wide and 3 inches tall. So we need to make our paper size exactly that. So I'm going to click inside the width box right here on the little white space. I've noticed this happens a lot with Publisher. It doesn't pull up the keyboard for you, even though I'm clicked in there. So I'm going to grab my keyboard. This is up to you. I sometimes like to expand and contract my keyboard, keep moving it around. It's a little tricky on an iPad. So I'm going to pinch my keyboard. I'm going to click back inside the width there so I can see that line. And I'm going to delete the 8.5 inches, and I'm just going to write the number 5. Next, I'm going to go to the height. I'm going to click inside there, and I'm going to delete the 11 inches, and I'm just going to write the number 3. So it's 3 inches tall. Next, there are margins. So on a typical sheet of paper, your printer can't go all the way to the edge at the top on the sides when it prints. Our laser engraver, though, can go all the way to the left and right and the top and bottom. So we don't need any margins on here. So in here it says 0.5 inches. We're going to click inside there and we're going to delete all of that and just leave it at 0. You can delete it all and type it back in with a 0 if you want. So I'm going to click inside here for the left, delete until I'm left with just 0, move on to the next one, 0, and 0. So 5 inches wide, 3 inches tall, no margins around the edge, and we've named it up top. So if you've done all of that, you can take your pointer and come to the OK right here. And in this custom section, I'm actually going to move my keyboard away. In this custom section, you're going to see a holiday ornament page size pops up. So I'm going to click on the holiday ornament 5x3. And you have two options. You either double click, tap, tap, or you click on that once and you come over and you say create. Awesome. So for me, it's a little bit too far zoomed in. There's something I want you to do right off the bat. Change the view just a little bit. At the top of the screen, I'm going to come to the View tab, and we're going to view the whole page. It just shrunk it a little. You can see that it's 5 inches wide and 3 inches tall. Next up, before we do any design on here, this is incredibly important that we do it early so that you don't lose your work. We're going to save this file right now. We're going to come up to the tab that says File. We're going to click Save As. And then we're going to go Browse the computer. So this little folder that says Browse. I need to find my H drive. This is kind of like in the last video. There's a chance that you don't see your H drive. If this PC is not dropped down, you have to hit that arrow. Then you can see the list that goes inside there. I'm going to select my H drive. And then we're going to rename this file. So I clicked in there. I need to open up the keyboard. And this file name is so important for me because when I send these to the laser engraver, I need to know whose file I'm actually sending. So what we're going to do is delete the file name that says Publisher1, and we're going to put in your last name, your first name, and then holiday ornament. So yours is going to be different than mine, right? I'm going to put in my last name, you're going to put in your last name. Last name, put in your first name, and then you're going to write holiday. Maybe I should expand my keyboard. Ornament. Your last name, your first name, holiday ornament. It's in your H drive because you just selected that before right here. You can come down and click Save. Pretty important that we save this early. So next we're ready to start designing this. There's some main things that go into this. There's going to be an oval that we're going to cut out the shape. There's going to be a circle that we're going to use to hang this from the tree or a doorknob, wherever you want to put it. There's going to be the picture that goes on there, and there's going to be some text. So we're going to come to the Insert tab. We're going to use this quite a bit. First thing we're going to insert is a shape. I'm going to click on Shapes right here. And we're going to insert an oval. So you see where my mouse is. I'm going to click on an oval. Nothing really happens because what we need to do is we need to click and drag an oval on the screen. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to click and drag an oval on the screen. And a big blue oval pops up as soon as I let go. So now we want to adjust this just a little bit. To adjust it, you're going to use these corner gray dots. They're kind of white circles. You're going to take your pointer, and this is where you must have a pointer, and you're going to come to that dot. You're going to click, hold, and move. So click, hold, and move, and it allows you to move your shape. Now I moved it way off the side. If that ever happens, you come back to view and you say whole page and it shrinks it back into view for you. I'm also going to come up to another corner. I'm going to click, hold, and drag this. What I'm looking to do is set up my oval so that it is as big as I can make it, but I'm still leaving a little bit of a gap at the top, a little bit of a gap at the side, the bottom, and the side. Just in case the pieces of wood aren't exactly 5 by 3, we're giving ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. Kind of like those margins that I said we didn't need, we're just making them right here. Next up, we don't want to print a blue oval on here. Instead, we want this to be see-through, not even white, but completely transparent or see-through. And we need the line to be very, very skinny. Our laser does two crazy awesome things. One, it's going to print pictures on there using the raster pictures. It's going to put down what are called pixels on there and burn every single little dot. It can also turn on a high-powered laser and cut out vector shapes, and that's going to be the shapes that we put in there, but only if we set them up with a very specific setting. Okay, raster is made up of pixels, vector is made up of line segments. You don't have to remember those because we're not together, but just so you know them, we're going to change this oval into a vector oval, and I'll show you how right now. You're going to click and hold on the oval with your pointer, and that right-click menu is going to pop up, and you're going to say Format Auto Shape. There are two things we have to change in here. One, at the top, I have a fill color is blue right now. We're going to change the fill color to be no fill. We're going to leave the line color at black. We still want that. And then we're going to change the width here. So the width of the line is currently set to 2 point. It's a sizing scale. As the numbers get larger, the line gets thicker and thicker. So we're going to bring it as small as we possibly can, but so that it's still there. I'm going to click inside the width and grab my keyboard. I'm going to delete the 2pt, 2 point, and I'm going to write 0.01. 0.01. Very important that we at least have a little bit of width, but the laser engraver is going to know that this is a vector shape, and instead of just trying to print it on there, it's going to attempt to burn it all the way through the wood. So we've changed the fill to no color, the width to 0.01. We're going to come down and click OK. This is now a see-through oval. We're going to do these exact same steps, but with a circle. What's the difference between a circle and an oval? Well, I'm still going to use the oval shape. I'm just going to come in here, and when I click, hold, and drag, instead of making it an oblong ellipse, I'm going to make it a circle. So, a couple things. Where is this circle going to go? So, this circle needs to be at the top of our oval, but it cannot be touching up here. We need to leave a little bit of space right above the oval so that your paper clip doesn't just rip through the wood. Once you have that lined up as close to the center as you can and close to the edge like mine, you're going to click and hold on it. Get your right-click menu to pop up, and you're going to say Format Auto Shape. we're going to do those same two things to this. We're going to change the color to no fill, and we're going to change the width grab my keyboard. My width is going to become 0.01, and I'm going to click OK. So let's not lose any of our work, just in case you need to walk away, because that took a lot of effort, a lot of tricks to make it work. Maybe when you put your circle in, you had it really big and you were taking some time to figure out how to adjust the size and how to move it around. So now that we've done all that, let's go up to the top and let's save this. Following my pointer up to the tippity top, I'm going to come up here and click Save. One click. It is now saved with that file name into your H drive. You've updated it. Okay, so what I did is I just cut the video right here. It was getting a little long. We're going to call this one part 1. Hopefully you have that saved with the oval and the circle. I'm going to then create a part 2, which is about the same length, where I'll show you how to do the picture, the word art, and how to save and turn it in. So good job. Wrap up this one and then watch the next video.